Hello everyone, this is AUR. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be going over the ranking EDM songs. Once again, I did the last time Ophelia, Adventelia 5 album, and now I'll be doing 3 EPs instead of just 2 for this video's sake. And I won't be playing any songs or anything. I already have listened to all of these songs, so I'll just be providing some comments along the way and then putting the songs in the tier list that I made. So starting off, we have the Skybreak Moonglow EP from Disciple. Alright, the track 1 is a collab with Skybreak and Kaval, and the song title is Moonglow. Okay, so first of all, outstanding intro, good build up with a ton of excitement, and one of the most beautiful pre-drop ARPs that I've ever heard while listening to the same kind of color bass music and stuff. Drop 1 is really good, feels more like Kaval in full flow than Skybreak, and has some Skybreak sounds layered all around it, and it just gets better and better and more gritty as it goes on for a bit. So yeah, a lovely drop. And yeah, lovely bridge between the drop and verse 2. The transitioning to verse 2 is one of my favorite sound design moments in the song. Lovely and uplifting verse 2 section. Drop 2 is really gritty and gives that happy and angry tonality at the same time, which is quite rare in my opinion when it comes to songs nowadays. So yeah, it's brilliantly done overall, and drop 2 is same as drop 1 structure wise, not by sound design but by the energy level overall, and getting more hyped, which is the overall song does pretty well, to be honest, and the song just gets better and better as you listen through. And yeah, I also love the outro. It's so freaking dope. So yeah, for me, it definitely deserves the S tier masterpiece for me. So yeah, Skybreak, Moonglow, really great song. Definitely a masterpiece. Alright, moving on to the second song. I'm just going to check my recording. Okay, it's recording. So second song is Skybreak Soul Shards featuring the Nakam, or I don't know how to pronounce her artist alias or vocal alias. I don't know how it's called. But yeah, for this one, starting off, it has some retro vibes from the intro, and the vocals are just a cherry on top, making it even more enjoyable. The atmosphere is heavy and ethereal at the same time in verse section, and my god, these vocal lines are so catchy. Build is quite uplifting and really heavy, which is quite rare in these genres because build-ups are usually not that heavy but more like energetic and like more stuff layered to create some energy and hype in like the high end, the mids and stuff like that, not the low end. But yeah, this one has some gritty and really heavy low end in the build section, which is cool. And yeah, some gnarly and swingy sound design in the drop as well. Feels like rhythm is about to lose soon to heaviness compared to color-based songs nowadays, honestly, because I hear a lot of heavy moments in color-based songs nowadays than it used to have. So yeah, I think rhythm is just going to die if this keeps up. Uh, Overall, the sound design is dope, and I really love it, to be honest. The bridge and verse 2 are frickin' madness of jazz and color-based synths, really loving the midsection, to be honest. It's one of my favorite moments in this tracks as well. the vocals coming in again before the second build creates that hype again. And oh my, that fake out and the drop. Easily one of the cleanest ways to do heavy color based sound design choice for a drop like this. This drop felt more of a less heavy and full overall than the first drop, but it did create a really good spot for the lovely vocals and outro. So yeah, compared to the first one, this might just be going over to the A tier for sure. To be honest, it's really good song. So yeah, fire stuff. Alright, moving on to the third song, Skybreak Cryolite. This song, again, with some retro-ish synths in the intro when the song is starting out. Not sure who's the vocalist here, but goddamn, that vocal is dope. I feel like I'm listening to some Porter Robinson track, but it's color bass. Yeah, so it just feels like it's inspired by maybe Porter Robinson. I guess so. But yeah, lovely pauses in the build, and finally a lovely and cutesy drop we get. This song drop reminds me a bit of Seraphine 2, which was part of the Rushdown 100 compilation, and that one is easily one of my favorite Skybreak tracks. So yeah, it did give me what I wanted, and yeah, I'm really happy it did. To be honest, it's one of the cutest drops I've ever heard in my life when it comes to color bass. Alright, moving on. We get some cool bridge and verse section with vocals coming in again, and this time a bit more energetic verse, which was kind of surprising, but I really enjoyed it. Now let's talk about the second drop. It's just a much better version of drop 1, and overall is packed with lovely twinkly sounds that I was really hoping to hear, and I did, so I feel blessed, to be honest. And the drop design doesn't stop there and gets even better and better as it progresses. And finally, a lovely and calm outro again with some lovely and catchy guitars processed in some way. I can't wrap my head around, but I really want to try that. Like those guitars and the processing like that as an outro. And yeah, it's an easy S tier for sure, so I'm going to put it in the masterpiece section. Alright, moving on to the track 4, we have Skybreak Crystal Heart. This song, lovely start, loving the glitchy atmosphere and watery sound design in the intro. That Skybreak signature lead coming in is such a nostalgia, to be honest. Reminds me of his older songs, that the lead he always used in like melodic dubstep and color based stuff as well. So yeah, it's a really good thing to hear when it comes to Skybreak songs. And yeah, I hear some future rhythm-ish stuff coming in with the build, and yeah, the drop is basically a mixture of melodic rhythm and future rhythm. Loving the lead sound design here with that classic Skybreak touch to it. It's really bouncy and glitchy at the same time. Alright, and moving on to the bridge section, it was pretty damn good, to be honest. Nothing extraordinary or much going on, but the sound design is dope and clean. So that's GG. Verse 2 or a bridge ended very soon, and next section to like evolves into the next section, even though it could have been like an extended build. But yeah, that kind of gave me verse vibes, but love the second build as well. So yeah, I don't know, I got confused there for like maybe it's a verse section or maybe it could be a extended build or something like that. But yeah, I loved it, to be honest. So alright, then we get the second drop, and it just gets better with a color based touch on top of the future rhythm aesthetic of the sound design. Honestly, feels like it could have been a collab with Sora, because Sora does some similar future rhythm-ish sound design with like color-based touch. So yeah, which I'd love to see, to be honest, if someday Sora and Skybreak collab. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited to hear if this collab becomes a reality, and they do happen to collab, because their styles are pretty similar uh, when we're talking about this song and the structure and everything. So yeah, loving the outro as well, and it's clearly the best outro on this EP so far, and it's just epic. So yeah, S tier, cause why not? This EP is so stacked. I'm so loving it, to be honest. All right, track 5, which is the last track, Skybreak, Atoro, and Mizu, Journey's End. Okay, for this song, I'm loving the piano in the intro. It's really ethereal. Uh, it feels like I'm listening to some classic song. Loving the vocals, and the verse atmosphere is also not that big, so the vocals are coming through pretty well. Catchy vocals, I'm not gonna lie. And love the vocoded female voice there as well, which adds a pretty cool and nice touch. The build just caught me off guard, to be honest, because it changed the key, but then the drop. Oh god, such a mean vibe there. Some top quality color based sound design, to be honest, and honestly, my favorite sound design on the EP, to be honest. It's the clearest drop on the entire EP, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm sorry if you guys like other songs more and the sound design, etc. But yeah, for me, this drop has like the cleanest production and everything. And it's just keeps getting better when it goes on. Uh, with nice melodic touches to the drop and well executed pauses. So yeah, now we're done with the drop, so let's talk about the bridge. The bridge with the vocals is pretty damn cool, but I did not expect the key change. It was a blessing. I can't put into words how beautiful the whole song got when it changed the key. Feels like a Disney movie when you close your eyes and feel the song. So yeah, love the rock elements in the second verse, the sound section, the second section before the build-ish section, I suppose. Even though there was like no proper build, but goddamn, some ethereal sound design in the drop. It's not as clean as first drop, but the vibe is perfectly done as a huge drop, and then adding that classic color based touch to the second part. And honestly, these outros in the EP are extraordinary. Like, all of the outros in this EP are some masterpiece work done, to be honest. And yeah, I don't know, they're all just amazing and well done. So yeah, for this song, this is an S tier, to be honest. Again, just a masterpiece of a song. So yeah, Skybreak really outdid himself in this one. Alright, I have to go and take like a small break, so I'm just going to pause the video right here and see you in a second. Alright, moving on, we have the Octane's Chemical Catharsis EP from Halcyon label. So I'm just going to like switch over to the EP folder so we can see the titles and everything. Alright, track 1, Octane Particle Chroma. I'm just going to check the recording. Alright, it's going on. So, first track, quite the Octane intro and perfect match for Halcyon label, to be honest. As an opener song, the verse and drops work pretty well and deliver what we want to hear from an opener song. Not so heavy, not so not heavy. It's just a balanced mix of both heaviness and puffiness, like puffy sound design. So yeah, nice atmospheric texture in the second verse section as well. And overall, the song feels like a cohesive project. Uh, and the second, for sure, picks up with the like the drop. The second drop for sure picks up like some energy and also providing some more gritty texture than the first one, which was like kind of like puffy sound design with like futurism aesthetic, I suppose. And yeah, the whole song feels like a nice, comfy, yet dark and gloomy and heavy experience. A solid one, to be honest, and the production along with the backdrop percussion is on point. So yeah, everything works out pretty well. And this one's going to be an A tier for me, for sure. Alright, moving on, we have a collaboration from Octane and with Lunari. The song title is Up to You. Lovely intro with a calm, lo-fi-ish piano and a catchy melody, and can't forget about the chords being lovely as well. First part of the build feels pretty empty to my ears, and the kick is just overall thumping too much in the build, but it doesn't make it sound bad at all. I'm not sure if the hyperpop approach for the drop is Octane's idea or Lunari does the hyperpop stuff. But overall, a really well done hyperpop drop with some energetic approach along with some cool future rhythm aesthetic to the sound design as well. The drop does lack a bit of atmosphere, but still sounds full to my ears at least. The bridge section after the first drop is very well done with all the watery textures and science fiction-ish design. And yeah, second build basically feels the same to me as like the first build did. The second drop does progress a bit with the higher pitched variation in synths and more elements overall added. But yeah, compared to the first drop, I'd say I would prefer the first drop a lot more, but it isn't that bad at all. So yeah, outro again is lovely and really sets the mood with the main vocal phrase going on and on. But yeah, overall, a very catchy and sweet number for sure. So def definitely another A tier for me. Fire stuff. I really love it. All right, moving on, we have Octane Valence Beam. All right, this AP does feel like some chemistry subject going on or something like that because of the chemical Catharsis name as well and the title tracks as well. So yeah. All right, the intro in the third song is pretty interesting and lovely different type of vocal processing in there. I did want to hear some worse section, but turns out the song is one of those songs which offer a drop in the first 30 seconds of the song, which in my opinion is usually fine with lots of rhythm songs. And that drop sound design is just top-notch stuff you can expect from Octane as a future rhythm drop. Even though it does feel a bit jarring on ears, but it sure has that Octane touch to it, the usual future rhythm sound design he does. And yeah, it's funky as well. So GG's for that Octane. I'm really loving it. Bridge section is well done and does carry the drop vibes into the next section without feeling boring or repetitive. And yeah, loving the verse too with these mysterious synths going on in the background as well as the up front. And oh my, that sound, the design in the second drop is just pure octane energy and sound design in full flow. Ever since I've heard Nano Prisma in Digital Ion from Octane, from the Halcyon EP that he put out, I've been waiting for another drop like those songs, and I get exactly that here, and basically just sets the mood for a true future rhythm fun ride along with Octane, honestly. And yeah, outro uses the same mysterious, weird synth patches used in the second verse, which again sets the mood pretty well. So yeah, overall, um, an absolute madness of creativity and a shit ton of sound design on show. Clean and cohesive production as well, setting off the mood with a boost to anyone's dopamine level if you like listening to future rhythm, that is. Well, overall, I just think it's one of the best Octane songs I've heard, and definitely is an S tier for me. So yeah, I'm just going to put in the masterpiece tier for here. All right, moving on to the fourth song, um, which is Octane. Now I'm lost. So yeah, starting with some weird synths this time. Yeah, loving these weird synths and sound design in the intro section. It really does grab your attention and everything. And yeah, I'm loving the vocals and kind of like the color bass ish approach for the intro with a bit of future rhythm blend. As expected, no build here as well, and the song just straight up goes into first drop. Uh, the sound design is very color bass and future rhythm mixture. It feels like both color bass and future rhythm to me, which is quite amazing. But the backdrop percussion is muffled a bit, so leaving the drop's energy and impact unnoticed, and to be honest, not that much impactful at all. I just wish that the snare had more oomph behind it and more upfront approach, and not staying in the background muffled in the mix by other elements. So yeah, loving the melodic lead going on in the second part of the first drop. Not gonna lie, bridge to the second verse is quite interesting and really well done. The atmosphere overall in the bridge section and then in the second verse really impressed me. So yeah, that's a plus for me. I'm an ambient producer myself, and hearing something like this really makes me happy. So yeah, really well done verse section. Second drop comes in with more energetic approach and sound design wise, but again, the backdrop percussion just lacks punchiness and just makes the drop overall weak and not so enjoyable to the fullest. The song has a lot of potential and has a very good outro as well after the second drop, but the only thing that makes the song not so good for me is, in fact, the drop percussion alone. Like the snare, it just doesn't feel right to me, to be honest, to my ears. Overall, the production is very well balanced, and vocals used are very vibey, and atmosphere just sets off the mood even more for the color bass ish future rhythm approach. But again, drop snare just doesn't hit as hard as it should, in my opinion. So on that note, this gets a B tier for me for sure. So, yeah, this is S tier, and we got A and then B tier. So it's just like a vibe for me. I would listen to it a lot of times. But yeah, that drop snare just it doesn't do the justice that it should. Alright, moving on to the fifth song, which I was really uh, hoping to check out because of the long title and everything. So yeah, Octane, ionization status, experiment resolution, epilogue. Uh, I expected something cinematic and some sort of like background song to like set off some mood for the outro, intro, something like that. And yeah, it did that pretty well. So that title really grabbed my attention, and I'm loving the intro so far in this one. It's mysterious, cinematic, and cool. It's a rather short song, but it does work pretty well as an outro to the whole EP, and the sounds on show are really well executed and well organized. Feels like I'm leaving a robotic world and saying goodbye to a place that's all just machines and nothing else. I don't know if it's meant to be sounding like that, but yeah, I do get that feeling from it a lot. I love the atmosphere and mysterious reversed sounds with some bleeps and bloops. Really does make it feel like an intro or an outro song, which it is. Production is a bit muffled considering the choice of sounds on show and the layering, but apart from that, a really good one. So yeah, it definitely gets on A tier for sure. And yeah, I have a big thing for songs like this, or like um, intro and outro thingy with like cinematic approach and texture and everything. All right, just three songs remain. So moving on, we have the EP from Nejvix. It's called Neptune One from Rienelix record label or something. I can't pronounce its name, but yeah, I'm a really big fan of their promo channel. The songs they put out are really damn good, and they also launched a label like a year ago, and this is one of the EP which grabbed my attention because the titles and everything and the tags from the EP were like some future dubstep and color-based stuff. So yeah, I was really interested and I wanted to check it out. So yeah, here we go. Nejvix Neptune One EP, and the title track, the first track being the title track, Nejvix Neptune One. Um, uh, Very smooth and heavy start with some great ambience, to be honest, and I'm loving the layering here. It's a really clean and stunning sound design and layering overall. Love the use of vintage vocals here with that gnarly reeds coming in and some more textures. It's just a madness for a verse section, and I'm loving it. Loving the use of siren bass in the build, and the transitioning overall is done very well in the song, and is on point, to be honest. Drop is sonically very clean and well done with some great texture to the bass design. Even though it feels like some generic rhythm bass design, it's still very clean, and the layering surely keeps it entertaining to hear. Uh, Not to forget, the uh, percussion really shines through in here in these drops. So yeah, loving the use of watery textures for the second verse and some glistening color-based synths used to give that more ethereal texture overall. So yeah, really well done, to be honest. The key change was unexpected, but really well done there. Loving the atmosphere here as well. the breakbeat section made me feel amazing listening to it, to be honest. Along with like the key change and everything. Even though it did develop into a build, I really enjoyed that short breakbeat section in there. The vocal processing in the pre-drop section, is also very well done overall and really sets the mood for me. Drop 2 is surprisingly more complex than the first one, even though I expected some minor changes, but overall it's just a madness of future rhythm aesthetic over the generic rhythm bases. So yeah, I love the snare change in the second part of the drop. The outro does feel a bit of an exaggeration of the second drop, but I guess it works for the song. Though that last water pop sound really did justice and ended the song in a really good way. Overall, pretty clean and well-rounded production. Ideas in the drop were not experimental and mad, but I really enjoyed it, and sonically it's a great sound design overall, to be honest. So even if I wanted to put it in the A tier, it would be injustice for the quality production and ideas, so I'm gonna give it an S tier for sure. So yeah, this goes to the masterpiece here. Alright, the second song from the EP called Nejvik's Depth Magma. Loved the LFO'd bass filter in the intro, really well executed intro atmosphere again in here. The good the good vibes in here are really coming from the atmosphere overall, and God, those reeses are mad. One of the crunchiest reeses I've heard in a while, and the overall Transformers aesthetic to the sound design really puts in sounds like inspired by some like Xylent or something like that. So yeah, the Transformers, the sound design, everything, it does bring the song to another level for sure. The build is well done and does set hype for the drop. Drop, in my opinion, sounds like inspired by Excision, but it actually sounds cleaner compared to some Excision songs nowadays. So, GG's on that. It is sonically clean and has a great texture on the layering. But for me, again, it doesn't show any experimentation or anything like that, and just does ordinary sound design. But for what it does it very well. I wish the drops had this future rhythm aesthetic with some Transformers sound design, but it just feels like another rhythm track to me. But for sure, there's plenty layering and sounds on show in the drop. And yeah, the bridge section here is very well done here, and it does justice to the overall vibe of the song. The second verse transition with those LFO reeses again coming in is really well done, and it it is the same as in first verse. So even if it does sound the same, I'd still consider it a very good one. Build is good, the second build, and the vocal samples also are well done in the second build. The vocoder is surprisingly clean on vocal samples used. Even I can't make my vocoded vocals such clean and crisp, and Nedrix really did that pretty well. So yeah, GG's on that. I want to learn that. Moving on to the second drop, it really picks up from the first drop overall with like melodic vibe, and does more of a rhythm and melodic rhythm approach, which I honestly really enjoyed there. So yeah, it's for sure a better version of Drop One for me personally. Outro is put together very nicely with like slowing down and everything. And overall, I really enjoyed the song. Though I'd give it an A tier instead and not an S tier, even though it does sound very well produced. But the ideas in the first song are far better, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just going to go and give it an A tier. Alright, moving on to the last song I'll be covering in today's ranking is Nejrek's Water Bass. So you guys may know I have a big thing for water sounds. Alright, moving on to the last song for today. Vocoded water sounds with some great ambience. Yes, I'm all in. Water is one of my favorite sounds, or maybe my favorite overall. So hearing some more water-based songs just gets me crazy, like the ones Skybreak and Sharks do, and I really want to do that stuff a lot. So yeah, love the small but good intro, and the build again uses that siren bass, which in my opinion really works with Nidrek's style, uh, which was done in the first song as well. Drop One feels more of a color trap than color bass in my opinion, because it's just vocoded water type bass design and more water layering with some trappy drums, so definitely is color trap, which is really cool because I love that genre and I've been listening to it a lot recently. Second part of the first drop really does pick up a lot and does justice with more energetic color based sounds overall, and with some more crunchy water layering. Loving the bridge section here with those cutesy synths going on and crazy good atmosphere. I don't know if that's a clock sound, but it does sound really dope. And another key change in the EP, though this one really does make it 10 times better when it comes to the vibe of the song than the first song key change we got, or maybe the second song. But yeah, um, though this one really does make it a lot better in my opinion, to be honest. And yeah, that's it about the key change and everything song related. And I think the sub here in the second verse is like a bit much, because it overcomes some atmospheric elements overall, because like the sub is a bit louder compared to like the atmospheric uh, sound design and everything, the layering and everything. But yeah, I think it doesn't make that much of a big difference when you're listening to on phone or and other stuff. But yeah, for me, it does feel like a bit too much to have so much sub in your verse section. So yeah, I love the somewhat orchestral synth approach before the second build, and second drop has some more sound design elements and some different layering as well. So yeah, a very impressive approach. Though I did feel like it felt really short, I just wish it was extended and had more to offer. But for what it does it in the best way possible, in my opinion. No extended outro here, sadly, though I really wished it had, considering it's the close-up track of the EP. But oh well, another STS song. I really loved it, and is my favorite of the EP, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just going to like put it in the S tier here. So yeah, that's it for today's ranking and everything. I hope you're satisfied with my reasonings and everything. I did my best to like describe everything that I've heard in the songs. and to give my honest opinion on every song. I'm a big color bass and future rhythm fan myself, so I do listen to a lot of these, and most of the times these are not generic at all. So yeah, that's about it. And I'm sorry if the song ranking and everything got a bit delayed, because I really wanted to do this one right after the Ophelia ranking that I did, but last week my country just like there were like disastrous times for us, because like there were floods and rains and everything. So basically just for 1 week we had like no network connection, and no electricity, no gas, none of it. So it just felt like living like Stone Age. So yeah, been really tough and hard times for me, but I hope you're doing well and staying safe. I always pray that you guys stay safe and lovely. So yeah, if you enjoyed the ranking video that I did right now with this reasoning and stuff and everything, please do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and also liking the video, so the uh, algorithm picks it up on the YouTube and like recommends it to other people as well, so they can watch it as well if you like it more and more. And it will also mean a lot to me, mean a whole world to me, to be honest. And I would really love to do more of these videos and like just upgrade it a little bit more with like least toxicity and everything, and just like logical reasonings and everything with every song. So yeah, though I am a bit excited to show my next ranking video, which will be out in a few days. If I got lucky and like had like electricity and everything and network connections and everything, so I can do it right here and make it happen. So yeah, if it does happen, I'll see you soon there. And yeah, just take care, have a great time, and stay safe. Bye bye.